Hi, this is Bob Sorrentino from Italian Roots and Genealogy, and I have a great guest today, Marco Bersani from Bersani and Partners in Verona, Italy. So, welcome, Marco. Thanks for being here.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for your invitation. I'm really happy to be here with you.
And we were talking before that you have a beautiful spring-like day there in Verona, yeah?
Yeah. Today in Italy is a really sunny day, especially here in the north of Italy, in Verona, where I'm located.
So all the more reason for people to get a visa or get citizenship.
Yeah, that's right. Not just for, the Italian food that is very famous, worldwide, but also, yeah, for the weather.
The first thing I want to ask you is a little bit about your family background. Now, is your family from Verona or the area around Verona?
Yes, correct. Yes, we are from Verona. Yes, absolutely. In the north of Italy in general, but right now, yes, we are in Verona.
Okay, that's fabulous. So one of the things that I wanted to ask you about specifically because up until a few months ago, I didn't know that this was a possibility, and I stumbled upon it on the internet. And that is the fact that a lot of people going for Italian citizenship, but you could retire in Italy using what I call a retirement visa. I'm sure there's another name for that, the correct name for that. So why don't you tell us a
Correct.
little bit about how that works?
Absolutely, yeah. Italian citizenship by descent, especially, it's really famous and trending, especially in the United States. But there are other options if you want to come in Italy, and especially if you want to retire in Italy. That is also very common too for American citizens. So actually, there are a lot of people that email to us asking, okay, but I would like to retire here. Also, if I don't have an Italian heritage, so how can we do that? So how can we retire in Italy? Actually, right now there are two main options to coming here for retirement. For example, the first option is the so-called elective residency visa. This type of visa is a visa that was designed by the government especially for retired people. So, in this case, you have a really specific design visa that you can apply for. For this type of application, you have, of course, to demonstrate that you are or retired or actually you can live in Italy without working. Because in the beginning, this is very important. In the beginning, the Italian government designed this type of visa only for retired people. So actually, you have to show that you are retired. So you have your retirement incomes from Social Security Administration or from other retirement other forms of retirement incomes actually. But later they extend the eligible people to apply for this type of visa, and so generally speaking, you have to demonstrate that you can live in Italy without working. And in 99% of cases, we are talking about retired people.
So is there a limit? I mean, I'm assuming that there's some sort of monetary limit that you have to meet in order to be able to do that, whether it's one person or two people.
Yes. Correct. Actually, you have to demonstrate, this is the main requirement. You have to demonstrate that you have a minimum income of 32,000 euros per year. So actually, when you show your Social Security statement, so the letter from the Social Security, you have to demonstrate that you, annually speaking, you reach the minimum. So 32,000 euros, that is around 35, 36,000 dollars right now.
And so is that so I'm assuming that's per person. So let's use me for an example. If my wife and I both wanted to come, we would have to show a minimum of approximately, I guess,
Yeah.
60,000 euro or something like that. Yeah.
Yes. Correct. That's
And that
correct.
could come from Social Security, pensions, investments, wherever.
Yes, actually, the law says that you have to demonstrate that you have some stable and continuous passive income. With passive income, we means that you have to, not just your Social Security income, so your pension, but you can demonstrate everything. That is, every income beside work. So if you have, for example, some incomes from your investments, some dividends, or you have like incomes from rents, or you have, for example, apartments that you're renting. What is really important is basically two things. The first one, as I said, you reach the minimum requested by the law. And the second, you have to demonstrate at the consular officer that these type of incomes are stable and continuous in time. This is generally the most challenging requirement to achieve.
Right. I would imagine, because it depends on where that source of income is coming from.
Correct.
Yeah, and that's very interesting because, like I said, I haven't run across very many people actually even knew that this was an option, that they could do something like this.
Absolutely.
And so now, if somebody wants to do that and they contact you, how long does the process? I know you can't be exact because everything changes and takes time to get things. Yeah. But roughly, how long would it take if somebody wanted to get a visa like that?
Yes, of course, every case is different. So we process our cases on, of course, case-by-case basis. But on average, it takes around 2 or 3 months maximum to prepare all the paperwork. And then as soon as we are ready to file the application at your local consulate, by the law, the consulate may take up to 90 days to decide your visa application.
That's not bad. That's pretty quick. And once a person gets that visa, how long is that visa good for?
Well, we did consider that with this type of visa, later I will talk about the second one, but with the elective resident visa, you will have a 1-year visa. So you will have a 1-year resident permit in Italy that you can then renew for 2 years. So after the first year, as long as you want to renew, you have to actually demonstrate that you are earning this type of incomes. Of course, if you have a pension, you are retired, this is not a problem because you have just to show an updated letter from the Social Security Administration. But if you are talking about different type of passive incomes, investments or rents or other things, you have to demonstrate that you are still earning the same type of passive income as for the first application, so when the first visa was released. So yes, basically this type of visa is 99% of cases we receive interest from people that are retired, so they want just to come in Italy, they want to enjoy life in Italy, the so-called Dolce Vita. And there are a lot of Americans that want to come in Italy, stay in Italy.
And so now let's say you get a 1-year visa. While I'm there now, and I know we'll talk about this a little bit later, I know we want to talk about the other visa, but then while I'm there, if I have the right Italian descent, I could apply for my citizenship while I'm on this visa, yeah?
Correct. Actually, this may be, another solution, another option, if you want to stay in Italy during waiting for the approval of your Italian citizenship by descent. Because actually, if you want to come in Italy for the application for Italian citizenship by descent, you can come in Italy without a visa because you can come as a tourist. And if the process will takes more than 3 months, you can ask for a resident permit. It's called permesso di soggiorno waiting for citizenship, in attesa di cittadinanza in Italian. But at the same time, if you don't care about the application itself, or maybe you want to apply later for your Italian citizenship by descent, then you can apply in a first attempt to the elective resident visa, for example, and during your stay, then you can file your citizenship application through the municipality.
Yeah, and that's great because my friend Antonia got her citizenship just about 3 years ago now, and I think she was on her last or next to last day of her tourist visa before it came through.
Yeah.
And she was scrambling, trying to figure out where am I going to go for a week or 2 weeks or whatever you have to be.
I understand.
So now you mentioned that there's a second type of visa that you could get, yes?
Sure. Yes, the second time that is actually a really new type of visa is the so-called investor visa or golden visa. This type of visa is actually a new visa designed for wealthy people. So if you have the so-called high net worth individuals, and if you want to come in Italy by making an investment, you will have a residency right, a resident permit, because of an investment you did in Italy. Of course, here we have different requirements, of course, because we are talking not about demonstrating that you have some passive incomes that you can have, of course, but here the main focus is to make an investment in Italy. We are talking about, as I said, some wealthy people, because the minimum investment you can do is around 250,000 euros. So, I mean, we are talking about a relevant amount of money that you can invest. But at the same time, if you have this amount of money, this is certainly the best option to come in Italy, because you will have some benefits and you are more flexible in your stay. For example, the investor visa, and this is different from the elective resident visa. With the investor visa, you can enter in Italy and then you can exit, re-enter, exit. I mean, you have a multiple entry visa without the risk of losing your residency status. So this is really important, because I mean, a lot of people, for example, ask to us, okay, but I would like to, yes, to set my residency in Italy for the moment, but I mean, I want to go back to my country because I have my business in my country. So I want to be free to travel as long as I want. So actually, this is not possible generally with the other visa, because with the other visa, of course, you can travel abroad, but you have to pay attention, because if you stay too much abroad, you risk the revocation of your resident permit. So actually, you are more flexible with the investor visa. The other good things with this type of visa that is different from all the other visa, also from the other investor visa for the entire Europe, is that you will do your investment only after you got your visa. This is really important, because actually, I don't know if you read something about the golden visas, the so-called golden visa. They are called golden visa because you can have the right of residency in a country, in Italy, for example, and you can do everything you want. Basically, you can return in your country without losing your residency. You can start your business. You can study. Your family members are covered too in all these benefits. So actually, is a more, flexible visa option. But differently, Italy has one more benefit than the other European countries, because here in Italy, as I said, you will make your investment only after your visa is granted. In other countries, yes, you have to make your investment and then you have to apply. Of course, in this situation, you have the risk that your visa is not approved for some reasons. Here is different. They say, okay, just present us your investment plan, where you want to invest, prove us that you have the money, your money are from lawful sources, and then we can approve your visa. And after 3 months, you enter in Italy, you have to do your investment. So actually, I mean, it's really appreciated by many people, because they say, okay, I have my visa and I have all the time to organize my investment, open my bank account. I mean, you have 3 months to do that.
Oh, that's really benefit. And like you said, it's low risk, because if you get turned down, you haven't moved any money of that. So now, what do you have to invest in? Do you have to invest like in the market? Do you have to buy property? What do you have to buy or do?
Yes. For the moment, there are 4 options. Okay, so you can choose to invest, or the minimum is, as I said, 250,000 euros in an Italian startup. Or you can invest the minimum of 500,000 euros in an Italian company. So it means that, for example, buying stocks of that company, that is the most chosen investment option right now. Or you can make a philanthropic donation, for example, to an Italian museum or an Italian entity, and it's 1 million euro, or 2 million euros if you want to invest in government bonds. So actually, the government, for the moment, designed these 4 options. The less you invest, more risky is the investment, because you are investing in a startup. Actually, if you want to invest in government bonds, they are generally a more secure option. You have to invest more. But right now, the 90% of people are choosing to invest in companies. because of course they aim to stay in Italy medium term or long term. So actually they plan to maintain the investment, and for example, after 5 years or several years, to sell the stocks. And so, I mean, they can also have some gains.
Right, right. Yeah. Well, that's attractive for people to have that, that kind of money.
Correct.
And
Really
certainly
attractive.
something to think about. Yeah, especially the fact that you said you could come back and forth and do all of that. So that helps. Now with these with either one of these visas, I'm going to assume that you don't get quite the same type of benefits that you would if you became an Italian citizen and lived in Italy.
Of course, becoming an Italian citizen is the main goal. Of course, with the Italian citizenship and Italian passport in your hands, you have not to think about visas, to go to a consulate, to renew your resident permit, because actually, of course, you can have a visa, but after you get your visa, you have to come in Italy and apply for a resident permit. And I mean, every 1 year, 2 years, you have to renew your resident permit. So you have continuity to demonstrate that you have the rights of staying in Italy. With an Italian passport, there is nothing like that. So actually, you are a citizen, so you can travel abroad, you can live abroad your entire life. You have not to pass to the consulate. Actually, of course, you can vote because you're a citizen. You can enjoy all the benefits through the consular services. Of course, you are a citizen, actually. So, it's way more better to live in Italy because, of course, in concrete, the law says that who has the resident permit has the same right, except for voting, of course, like the citizen. But, in concrete, it's not always like that because, for example, it's very common. The Italian bureaucracy is very a mess. So it's very common that people say, "Oh, I had problems, I had issues for register myself or my kids or my wives to the Italian healthcare system because they raise some issues with my resident permit." So actually, it doesn't exist if you are a citizen. If you're a citizen, and you have the most secure status for stay and live in Italy.
Yeah, that's great. So why don't we talk a little bit about you also help people get the citizenship, and I know there's at least two types. One is like myself. My grandfather was born in Italy, and he did naturalize, but he naturalized after my father was born, so I'm good there. But there's also this 1948 law that I know confuses everybody, and it's been explained to me several times, and I still don't understand it completely.
Yeah, it's normal. So actually, there are two important things to note about the applications right now, especially after COVID. As you correctly said, from one side, yes, the so-called 1948 case. You can find plenty of information on the internet, but a lot of people sometimes, email us and say, "Oh, I didn't understand exactly how it works. So if I qualify as an administrative ordinary case, I have a 1948 case." What is important in the 1948 case is that if you find a woman into your family line, into your Italian bloodline, you fall under a 1948 case if that woman, grandmother, for example, had the next in line, her son or her daughter, before 1948. This is not generally, generally it's clear, but sometimes it's not so clear because people just, for example, find a woman and says, "Okay, there's a woman, so I have a 1948 case," but it's not. The woman, if we have a child born before 1948 from that woman, then we have the 1948 case. Differently is a case that you can process through the consulate or the Italian comune, the town hall. The other important things is starting to become really trending right now because especially after COVID, almost all people are not able to book appointments at the consulate, at the Italian consulate. For example, in the United States, this is something pretty new. If you try, for example, to book an appointment at the Los Angeles consulate or in Miami or in Houston, Philadelphia, if you try right now, it's literally impossible, or because they have a long wait time for just the appointment. We are talking about, for example, Boston. I checked 2 days ago, they had like 6 years of wait time for the appointment. Or there are consulates that are completely closed. For example, the New York City consulate completely closed. There is like a written statement on the consular website says, we suspend all the appointments, so you cannot take an appointment, and so you cannot apply for Italian citizenship by descent. And so starting from 2020, all people says, okay, but if I cannot book an appointment, how can I apply? I wait, but I don't know when they will reopen, or I try different solution, except for coming in Italy, of course, because not everybody can come and move the residency in Italy. So actually, most of people right now are filing the application through the Italian court. This is a new approach that is really trending, especially in the United States right now. It's not new, because in other countries we already filed this type of cases, but especially after COVID, all consulates closed. So actually you can file your application through the Italian court without coming here, because you can just sign a power of attorney to an Italian citizenship attorney, and then you can ask the judge to declare your Italian citizenship by descent by demonstrating that you cannot have the appointment at the consulate, because the Italian law is clear on this side. The Italian law says that, yes, you have to apply through the consulate, but at the same time, there are some obligation from the consulate. So the consulate has by the law to process a case in maximum 2 years, and each person has the right to file an application. So it's not allowed by the law that a consulate stop the appointment, or for some reason, for example, they suspend the appointment, like for example the New York City consulate. And I mean, starting from 2020, there are these new cases that are judicial precedent won by the applicants, and so they got the Italian citizenship by the Italian court in Rome. So this is a new approach that is starting to be trending, because actually, except for a few consulates like in Miami that is open right now, but they have a long wait time, or Boston, for example. I mean, through the other consulates, it's literally impossible to have an appointment.
Yeah, well, that's really good news, because a lot of people have been asking me recently, and I was saying, especially if you're, close to my age, 70, it's going to be very difficult to wait 6, 7, 8 years to get citizenship. At that point, does it really matter?
Correct.
And I'm actually in the midst of the process right now with an attorney who's helping me out, and we're in the process of getting all the records together and everything. So, I guess once that's done, then we'll see what the next step. But I wouldn't mind spending 45 days in Italy, that's for sure. and I'm praying we're going to get there in April or May this year. We postponed twice already.
You have to come here to visit my office.
I'd like to, but we're doing a whole ancestor thing, and the building behind me is my third great grandfather's home in Montebello. Unfortunately, it's not in the family any longer. Unfortunately.
Okay.
He was the Count of Montebello in Calabria.
Oh, okay. Okay, perfect.
So this is all really, really great information. So anybody who wants to contact you to either learn more, find out if they're eligible, what's the right step for them, how would they find you?
Yes, all people can go on our website, that is bersanilaw.com. They will find a contact form. We will make a free eligibility check on their cases. So, they can just share their family line and the information they have for the moment. And then, we can continue. We can advise on the best path, on the best option, alternative option, like, for example, going through the court. And we can check the eligibility of the client.
Yeah, that's great. And I'll put all that information on the post and on the video and everything so people can find it
Thank you, Bob.
quickly and easier. Well, I really, really appreciate you taking the time. I know you have
My pleasure.
busy day ahead of you, I'm sure. So thanks again. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you again. Have a nice day.